So you're probably thinking about those money goals for a new year, new you. So I'm sharing the biggest mistakes that we could make when setting these money goals so that you can ensure that you'll create achievable yet realistic outcomes for 2022. What's up, guys? It's Nick. As you know, I'm a recovered shopaholic, now a money mindset coach, empowering working professionals to fund their dreams into reality. Now that I've been coaching clients to set up their money goals for success, I realize that the biggest mistakes we could make are the ones we don't really notice. And that's why you may feel stuck, unmotivated, frustrated, overwhelmed when trying to achieve these targets. But if you want to take control of your finances and have the confidence to hit your money goals this 2022, I wanted to share the mistakes I've made and I've seen so that you don't end up doing them as well. So if you're all about that, then make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel because you know I don't miss out on a new video every single week. Now let's get into the video. Number one mistake, and sometimes you don't even realize this, and that is when you set money goals based on what you don't want rather than based on what you truly want. The thing is, what happens is when you focus on what you don't want to happen in your finances or in your life, then you often operate in panic, fear, frustration, and you just keep pressuring yourself. That's super unnecessary, and you're just in this spiral of like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna do this? Like, I'm so scared, I'm so terrified, right? So for example, if you focus on, I don't want to get into debt this new year, I want to make sure that I don't get into bad debts. Okay, so what happens? When you think about that, you operate in like, oh, I need to deprive myself of my wants so that I don't use my credit card. I shouldn't even touch my money digitally so that I forget about it, or I'll just save blindly just so I know I'm saving somewhat, but I'm not really sure how much. You say that, oh, I don't want to get into debt, so I will save at least 500,000. That's the number that feels good. But what's the reasoning for it? What is your basis for wanting to save a certain number? Like for me, I shared that I saved ₱500,000, but there's a basis for that. There is building blocks for me to realize that this would be sufficient for me because I want to start my business. I want to help people. I want to make sure that I am running my business with ease rather than if I operated with, oh, I don't want to get into debt when I start my business. Like it's such a negative energy versus the positive energy that I jumped into saving when I said like, I really want to start my business, launch it and coach people because I know I can help my clients experience the same transformation that I've been through. And so it's like a positive energy that fuels me, that motivates me to save and spend my money right. So another example is you don't want to feel left behind versus your peers or your colleagues that you see on social media. They're posting on their stories that they have their life together. They already have a family. They're married. They have a dog. They're about to get pregnant. like I get it. The tendency is like what I notice as I coach my clients is when you don't want to feel left behind, you're like, oh, I don't want to feel left behind, so I should already have a property. I should prioritize having a property. But do you really want that? Is that really your number one priority, or you're doing it out of pressure? Out of pressure that you're not successful if you don't have a property because that's how you get passive income, and that's what we all hear, right? If you're constantly operating on FOMO, that's going to apply in the rest of your life. Oh, this person bought this iPad, so I also need an iPad. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the problem when you don't know what you truly want. You let others decide for you. What can I focus on that I actually truly want? According to my standards, according to my criteria. And that's what I love coaching my clients on, is for them to get super crystal clear on what they truly want. Not according to what their parents expect of them, not according to what their colleagues can afford, not according to society standards of what being successful should look like, but based on your own intuition, based on what truly brings you fulfillment and freedom and enjoyment in your life. Now coaching several clients from different backgrounds, different jobs, from business owners to working professionals in corporate to different income ranges, each of them have a unique vision for their life. That's the thing, we forget that we have our own thing. We forget that we have our own vision because we are constantly bombarded on what we should want. What I love coaching my clients on is really tune in. tune in and like there's no judgment here. There is no societal pressure. There is no parents nagging you on you should have done this by now, you're supposed to be like this by now. None of that. But like just you and me. Just you and me, and let's figure out what really feels good to you. So what's the outcome if you focus on what you truly want rather than what you don't want? Okay, so when I coach my clients to focus on and figure out what they truly want, they're more excited, they're more at ease. The common thing they say is weight has been lifted because they finally know like this is what I've always been meant to strive towards, not the random number that I see someone already has. You don't ever have to compare someone else's achievements versus yours because you are so focused on what you truly want and you are unstoppable because this is my thing, that's your thing, this is my thing, I'm gonna focus on mine. I actually want to give a shout out to one of my clients, Tish, because she is an inspiration to a lot of people when I posted about it on my IG stories, because she realized that she could move out and live independently earlier than she expected. Like she didn't expect that while we were going through our sessions that she would actually figure out that timeline that would fit for her, that she would feel financially and mentally prepared to move out. It came from a place that because she wanted to live a life according to her truth, according to her terms, and it now became so much more exciting and inspiring for her to keep moving forward. And now we crafted the concrete timelines for her to do that. By the way, I also wanted to update you guys that wow, like I just filled up my slots for December 2021 inside my one-on-one coaching program so early this month. And because of that, I wanted to let you know that if you want to make sure that you get your slot inside my one-on-one coaching program in 2022 by January, I hope that you reserve your slot early through the link below. And my coaching program is really for you to master mindful spending and saving habits under 60 days so that you have the confidence and clarity to fund your dreams into reality. So just like what I did with my clients, we spent 8 weeks together for you to get crystal clear on your life vision and mission that will serve as your anchor in understanding what are your priorities so that you could trust yourself in making the right spending decisions, not just now, but for the long run. Mistake number 2 is you're benchmarking your money goals on someone in the advanced level. So this is something I admittedly made a mistake on. So the thing is, with the online space, we see a lot of successful people who have investments here, who have done this, who have done that. But then I've made the mistake of like, oh, I should also have that. You see someone, with passive income, with so much investments in stocks, crypto, Axie, or they already bought a property for residential. You see all of that and you're like, yeah, like I want that too. Like that should be a goal. Thing is, you can't compare your stage 1 to someone's stage 10, right? That's the mistake I've made. It's like, now I feel so insecure and frustrated because like I feel so far away. So I'll give you like a metaphor, like an analogy here. I've been doing yoga now as like my daily exercise, and you wouldn't believe that it's really quite hard if like you're not aware of the poses. So at first like sobra akong out of balance, sobra akong parang like, what the hell? I am not gonna do that pose. Parang I started off like that. So I subscribed to a yoga app, and in the app, you will see there like, okay, beginner, moderate, advanced, very advanced level. And the thing is, I would not dare and try to do the advanced headstands and the advanced yoga poses and like other back bends over there that are super like intense. I'm not gonna do that because I'm still in like, I would say I'm still I'm in between beginner and moderate when it comes to yoga. In my head, I'm like, oh, I aspire to get there one day. But I'm not going to do all the headstands and handstands in one day, hoping that magagawa ko siya in one day. But then recently, actually, I shared in my IG stories that I've recently successfully achieved a headstand against the wall. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm so proud of myself because I remember there was a time that nung pandemic, I went home to my parents' house and then I would practice there trying to do a handstand. Okay? A handstand na literally kaka-search ko lang sa YouTube at nakita ko, let me try that today, right now, because why not? What I did was I asked my dad to push my legs against the wall so that I could try to do a handstand. So like with no momentum whatsoever, with no practice on like how to do my arm strength and all that. And obviously I failed. Versus when I learned how to headstand, I literally did I mastered each of the steps in order to get to a headstand. Even though it's against the wall, I know that eventually I can get to like being by myself eventually because I am mastering the basics, the foundation to get to the post that I want. So I wanted to share that because sometimes you're like me who's like trying to do a handstand kahit kaka-search mo lang sa YouTube at gusto mo na agad gawin. It's the same way with our finances. Kaka-search lang natin tungkol sa mga investments, sa mga stocks, sa mga crypto, sa mga kung ano-ano sa YouTube and we're like, let's do that tomorrow. But the thing is, you did not see the behind the scenes of that person working on mastering the basics, mastering the steps before they got to the advanced level. What we're doing is we're comparing our beginner level to someone advanced. That's why I'm so passionate about mastering mindful spending and saving habits first as the foundation before you try to do the advanced investments, advanced other ways to grow your money, to do a business and all that. Because for me, that's what I did. So imagine if I was still a shopaholic and I started a business. Imagine if I was still a shopaholic and then I invested in stocks. Then I would never feel like it's enough. I will keep wanting more and more because nauubos lang yung pera ko sa kaka-shopping on unnecessary things. The lesson here is that when you set money goals for 2022, think about it. Have you mastered the basics? Have you mastered the right foundation of your money mindset and money habits? And this is where the importance of really having a healthy relationship with money comes in. Do you trust yourself in making the right spending and investing decisions? Do you see that there is no need to deprive of yourself with your wants because you know your priorities on what truly matters to you? Do you have the clarity on how money is just a tool, not the goal? Money is just the tool for you to fund your dreams into reality. That's how a healthy relationship with money looks like. And that's what really got me into, okay, now I'm ready to start a business. Now I'm ready to invest more. Now I'm ready to think about, okay, I want to buy a property soon. By the way, if you want daily reminders on mindful spending, mindful living, and all that, I do share a lot more tips and like behind the scenes, spur of the moment insights on my IG stories and also in my IG feed. I share the infographics and all that. So if you want to like consume and constantly like be reminded of mastering the right money habits and your money mindset, then make sure you follow me on Instagram and you can also DM me over there. Mistake number 3. This might hurt a bit, but you know me and my tough love advice, you gotta hear it, is you might be making the mistake of setting unrealistic and vague money targets. So here is the thing with our brain. Okay, when it comes to building a habit, making habits stick, doing something for a long period of time that we want to incorporate in our life as a habit, it's not gonna stick if the instructions aren't clear. So that means if your goals are just vague, like save enough money for my future, grow money, start a business, own a property, those are vague. Those are vague that your brain's like, meh. What? What you say? Ano sabi mo? That's what happens to our brain. Literally. This is what I enjoy learning about in my coaching training, really, is that your brain is only going to respond to something if you can clearly say it, instruct it, and visualize it. You need to create a concrete and specific goal that is personalized to your life vision. So that's why I tie it back to the mistake number 1 a while ago, is that if you don't know what you truly want, then that's why you keep setting vague targets. You keep setting unrealistic and malabo targets. So what I coach my clients on is to bridge the two. What is your life vision and what is your money goals? What are your money targets that will allow you to bridge it together? Because isn't the point of spending and earning money is to fulfill what we want out of life? We forget about like, oh, I just have money and I just spend it. I see the money in my bank account, I just spend it. But we forget like, what are you spending for? What's the purpose? And so what I love to do is to make sure that bridge is clear with concrete timelines, with achievable outcomes, rather than you're constantly running blindly like, okay, I have this money and then what? Or like, how much money is finally enough? What is enough? What is finally enough for me to live the life of my dreams? How do you quantify enough? This 2022, you get to decide. Are you going to invest in prioritizing your dream life? Or are you gonna let someone else decide for you? Because it's only either of those two paths. So again, if you want me to be that mentor and accountability partner for you that will guide you in getting crystal clear on your life vision so that you have the confidence and clarity to spend on what truly matters so that you get a step closer and closer to funding your dreams to reality, just like I have, then I would love to welcome you inside my one-on-one coaching program. Check the link below and you'll see also the amazing testimonials from my clients because that may be you one day. And if you want to know more money mistakes I have done in my 20s, you can check out this video so that you can find out what to avoid and actually do the right thing. And I'll see you there.